is your one-stop multimedia destination. With the experience our team has, not many can really tell a story like we do. Specializing in live broadcasting, promo reels, film, and social media. No matter the story, we've got you covered with some of the best professionals in the industry. Your story is our mission. Find us on the web at brickcitycreativegroup.com or on Facebook at Brick City Creatives.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
Now you did it. Are you completely insane? He's back. He, who must not be named, the man, the myth, the only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in fried pickles. Twice. Now, you asked for it. Sorta. Live and in person. It's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Monday morning here in the Brick City, beautiful Ocala, Florida. I am Tom Schmitz. Joining me on the phone lines right now to talk to us about some of the problems that are faced by families during the COVID pandemic, especially when dealing with children who may have diabetes, is Dr. Kurt Midyette. He is the pediatric endocrinologist from Midwest Women's and Children's Specialty Group. Doctor, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you today?
Wonderful, wonderful. You know, I always hear about diabetes, and around the holiday season, you need to watch what you eat because of all the goodies that are set on the table and all. And now with COVID, throwing another wrench into it. But with COVID, you hear about existing issues that could make COVID worse for you. Is diabetes one of those issues that is one of those pre-existing conditions that could exacerbate COVID?
It can. We do know that patients that have some higher risks with diabetes and other medical diagnoses. But I think the important thing to take home about this is that well-controlled diabetes does not appear to make you at a higher risk for developing some complications with the COVID illnesses. And that's very important, and I think highlights one of the reasons that we are wanting to focus on trying to help our patients better manage their diabetes by giving them information and giving them tools in order to balance their glucose levels. That's the key with diabetes. Diabetes can be a real challenge because the glucose levels can rise and fall, and that's what we try to minimize.
During this pandemic, I know here in Florida, we were on lockdown for about 2.5 months. It's been eased since then, but still some people are staying inside. But I know that I don't have diabetes, but I know that in that time of boredom, which is the best way to describe what the lockdown was, you watched a lot of TV and you ate a lot of food. I put on an extra 20 pounds while I was on the lockdown. But that's a crisis a diabetic can't deal with. They can't just open the refrigerator to eat out of boredom. So what are some of the ways that you give people to cope with their diabetes while they're also going through lockdown and boredom being what it is?
Well, I think all of us are facing those challenges. And so diabetes, you're right, does emphasize and amplify some of those issues. And so what we really try to guide our patients is it's not about not eating certain foods. It's about trying to balance the certain foods and certain types of foods, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins that everyone is eating on a daily basis needs to be balanced, and we need information. And so if we can have that person who is at home, maybe isolated or at school, whatever the case may be, giving them guidance on how to manage the insulin that they may need to take or the oral medications that they need to take is very helpful. And trying to minimize the swings of the blood sugars is very, very important.
Talking with Kurt Midyette, Dr. Kurt Midyette, the pediatric endocrinologist from Midwest Women's and Children's Specialty Group. Doctor, when you you see, I don't know if this is the same way now, but my sister suffers from is a diabetic. She's been diagnosed as diabetic for a while now. And back in the day when she first started, she would take her medicine. She'd start feeling better. Her blood glucose levels would level out. She would be like, well, I don't need to take my medicine anymore because I'm good now. And then she'd get sick again. Is that still something you see with people with not enough knowledge or information? They take their medicine until they feel better and then get off of it. Is that a common problem still?
Yes, it can be. Absolutely. I think that we think of diabetes as a failure of a person, and that's really not the case. Diabetes has a direct impact on someone's sugars, but it is something that can be inherited. It's something that can develop over time, and giving the patient an understanding about how to be successful with the management of diabetes and recognizing that this is a lifelong disorder that they are going to have to deal with. It may be managed with lifestyle changes, but it also may be managed and need to be managed with insulin and medications. And that's kind of where we're focusing on as we move forward with the technology. How do we give the tools to our patients to best manage through these times?
How heavy a burden during COVID have you seen is being placed on parents to help manage, because you can't go out to the doctor's office. The way you're doing your life has changed. How is the burden on parents now during this pandemic? And are there ways and technologies that can help relieve some of that burden?
Absolutely. I think that one of the surveys that recently came out by Opinion Health that was supported by Abbott, who I'm talking for, really did a deep dive into how stress plays a role in the management of diabetes. And what we found was very profound. 73% of kids living with diabetes noticed increased anxiety compared to those that were not. And over 50% of parents stated directly that their child's diagnosis of diabetes played an impact on their own mental health, and 38% of those parents actually sought out mental health professionals for counseling and therapy in regard to this issue. So it is a very big deal, and it's something that we as providers of care for patients with diabetes need to recognize and communicate as frequently as we possibly can. But what's exciting is this idea of the new technology coming forward that could potentially help to reduce some of the burden and the stress that we see from the day-to-day management of diabetes.
Is telehealth one of the silver linings that we're going to get out of this COVID pandemic? The fact that now you don't have to go always sit in a doctor's office and wait to be seen, that now you have the technology with telehealth and stuff. Is that one of the silver linings we're going to take from this pandemic?
It very well may be. I think a good example of this is the technology that I mentioned, the Freestyle Libre 2 device, which is a device that allows me to get information from my patients and for them to have information about what their glucose levels are. For instance, this device is placed on the back of their arm. It's very small, about the size of a quarter, and allows them to get their information of their glucose levels minute by minute. This eliminates the need for finger sticks, but in regard to the question about the telehealth, they can now upload this data remotely from their home, through their phone, through their computer, and I can see the information when we have a clinic visit, or maybe perhaps one of my nurses is communicating with the family. We can see this information remotely without having to have them physically come into the clinic. So I do think that this will be a game changer and provide us insight, but also perhaps change the future of how we manage our patients with diabetes.
We're talking with Dr. Kurt Midyette. Doctor, if people want to find out information and they want to see some of the stuff you're talking about, some of the techniques you're using, and some of the technology you're talking about, where can they go find out more information?
I would encourage everyone to visit myfreestyle.us. It gives great information about the resources on how these devices, the Freestyle Libre 2, can really help readjust your views on how to manage diabetes, and also provide important safety information as well. So I would encourage everyone to check that site out.
I'll give you a moment now to talk about Abbott, who you're doing this in concert with. Tell us a little bit about Abbott.
Abbott is a international company that has been involved in the development of technologies for diabetes in patients all over the world, and they have provided some unique innovations that have really helped me as a provider better care for my patients and providing us insights into how glucose levels change. And that is a very powerful tool that gives us as the providers, but also really, again, eliminates the burdens that we see in our patients day to day, and very excited about the future and where things go with this technology.
Dr. Kurt Midyette, he is a pediatric endocrinologist from Midwest Women's and Children's Specialty Group. Doctor, thanks for joining us this morning.
I appreciate your time. Have a great day.
We'll be back after this timeout. You're listening to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
I'm Jan from Palm Garden. Christmas in 2020 sure looks different than it has in years past.
I'm Crystal, and it's fair to say this year has been like no other for the healthcare and the whole community.
We want to thank our frontline staff who continue to care for our residents every day.
And thanks to the family members who have been unable to visit for so long.
We wish each and every one of you a blessed holiday season. Merry Christmas from Palm Garden.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Oh, hey, Grandpa.
Oh, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa.
Yes, buddy?
Can you take me fishing this weekend?
I'd love to. Have you noticed a change in your hearing over the years? Missing the little things in life? Visit Beneficial Hearing in Ocala today. Their expert team of audiologists will make sure you never miss a moment. Call Beneficial Hearing today at 352-629-4418 or visit them online, beneficialhearing.com.
Get inspired to take your next vacation close to home and experience Miami Beach. A paradise getaway only a drive away. Take in 7 miles of beautiful beach. Walk historic South Beach. Take in the art and culture. Stroll famous Lincoln Road and taste the international cuisine found in the city that offers a faraway feeling without the flight. Visit Miami Beach, a paradise getaway only a drive away. Learn more at Experience Miami Beach on Facebook and Instagram.
On this episode of What Not to Do, brought to you by
Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
Why is there a helicopter in the yard?
Never mind that. We have bigger issues.
Really? Bigger than a helicopter?
Your parents are going to be here for the big dinner, and the garbage disposal is making some crazy noise, and it wasn't Christmas music.
Well, maybe you should have thought about that before you tried shoving an entire sack of potatoes down the disposal.
It wasn't the entire sack, just most of it.
Now's not the time for more jokes, Mr. Funny Man.
Well, I did try to fix it, but...
Do you have to do this every holiday?
No, I did skip Easter.
What did we agree the rules are?
No more circus animals in the house.
No, not that one.
Oh, if water runs through it, call Mike Scott Plumbing.
Because they don't charge extra for nights, weekends, or holidays. So put down the blowtorch and pick up the phone.
Yes, dear. 866-314